Imagine you're a salesperson trying to sell a product for $10,000. The customer's purchasing agent responds that a competing supplier is selling a similar product for $8,000. What would you do? Let's look at your options. If you have pricing authority, you can choose to match the price of the lower offer. If you can't control price, you go back to your manager or pricing department and ask them for the authority to match the competitor's price. If you get it, maybe you'll be lucky. The customer will sign with you for $8,000 and you'll earn your commission. But most salespeople in this situation know the outcome will be different. Salespeople know the situation will typically play out as follows. The purchasing agent won't be content with a $2,000 discount. The buyer will go back to the losing supplier and get them to lower their price even further, starting a back-and-forth process that we call the pricing death spiral. This process, where smart buyers try to squeeze every last penny out of their vendors, is good only for the buyers. With a pricing death spiral, there are no winners, only survivors. Pricing with confidence, the subject of this book, allows you to avoid the pricing death spiral. The approach outlined in this book will help you close the deal without leaving discount dollars on the table. The approach is not difficult, but it requires preparation, a detailed knowledge of your offering, your competitor's offering, and the competitive landscape, as well as a deep awareness of the customer's real objectives and requirements. With pricing confidence, when the purchasing agent mentions the bid from one of your competitors, your response will be different. The throughput of the competing machine is half of ours, you will say to the purchasing agent. Your engineers told us they needed the throughput of our product to increase your product yield. But if you don't think the throughput of our product is really required, we're pleased to offer you a machine that gives you 60% of the throughput for $7,900. Which do you prefer? Now the purchasing agent is on the defensive. If the purchasing agent insists on a lower price, he can get it, but will have to accept a lower value product. If, as is more likely the case, the increased throughput is essential, the purchasing agent must acknowledge that fact and be prepared to pay the higher price that reflects the increased value your product delivers. Whether the customer buys the lower value product, whose price beats the competition, or the higher value product, whose performance beats the competition, you come out ahead. That's confidence in pricing, and that's what this book is all about. 10 Rules of Engagement. Pricing with confidence requires an understanding of 10 rules of engagement. Each rule is a general reminder to all members of the firm of what is needed to grow both profits and revenue in increasingly competitive and price-oriented markets. Here, in brief, are the 10 rules to pricing confidence. Rule 1. Replace the discounting habit with a little arrogance. The best way to dislodge any deep-rooted habit is to replace it with another. Price discounting is entrenched in most organizations. As with any addiction, the discounting habit is tough to break cold turkey. The best way to dislodge any deep-rooted attitude is to replace it with another. Arrogance, feeling good about your products and services, provides the confidence needed to kick the discounting habit. Simple analysis can point to where bad discounting leaves money on the table. Rule 2. Understand the value you offer to your customer. How can customers be expected to understand your value if you don't? You can't have confidence in your pricing until you have confidence in the financial value that your offerings create for customers. Even though many managers are convinced they can't get this information, the reality is that most of your customers are eager to tell you. All it takes is asking the right questions and being willing to listen.